that's a rather large upset. Maverick now need to win. They need to beat Firebird. They have to beat Goose. And that will be an interesting series or day for them. I think mentally they're going to prep, come back, and be good. Great cut in the middle by Lane. Just absolutely respected there. Great touch as well on the pass in the middle. Huck goes deep. Lots of time. Oh, that is a pretty throw. And Terra tied up to 1. Both teams fairly clean so far. Taking deep shots from about the same spot on the field as well. You'll see this line here, which is actually the edge of one of the soccer fields. But they've both been throwing from about that spot.
The flick, and I'm just going to sit it over top of everybody.
Great to hear that Batch and Snow, you're back on. We have quite a few viewers. Please do tell others to tune in. It's important that we see this aspect of the sport. I do try to provide a little bit more technical broadcast. I guess a little bit more ultimate nerdy, a bit more on the inside, but I think the best way to get people in the sport is if you are watching the stream and if it is good enough quality, or you watch it on YouTube and you watch it with someone who's new or doesn't know what's going on and you explain it to them. Now, I am trying to call the plays, the formations as we're going along. I've heard that it has helped juniors and others along the way, just to give you an example of what it looks like and how things work. Terra there now with a pull. This is a nice floaty pull. Is it going to stay in? It does. And the pressure's on right away. I consider this a good defense pressure. This is a zone now, as you can see. There's 2 marks there. And you've got a floater out, but it melted right away. Oh, I apologize for that. The Huck is a turn. And I think that was a throwaway from Manny. Manny, a young player, university player still. Now, orange. If you notice the orange folks on there, those are observers. And an observer is not a referee, but they are people who can help in making a decision. In Ultimate, you make your own calls. And in addition to making that less expensive to play, it means that you're actually trying to respect everyone as you should be. Oh, and that was a little too easy for Terra to just kind of walk in. But there's a call. There's a call as to something going on way back there. The observers are having a discussion now. Ellen's there on the far side. I believe there's an observer in training here on the closer side. I believe, I'm not sure. And there's a call, or no call. Okay, so this play is continuing. And Terra, get a break. Really important mental game right now for PPF. The question is, are they going to start stacking lines? I do believe that the top line from PPF here can beat any top line for any team in their division here at Ontario Championships. But if you do look at their top line, they're just this phenomenal set of players. And more importantly, that top line has chemistry. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of chemistry issues on PPF. Darcy had a bit of a pep talk earlier. They seem to have ironed things out a little bit more. This game's still early on. Let's see what develops. Ms. Banana with a pull, and that one lands out of bounds. When a pull lands out of bounds, it's kind of like the kickoff. You get to call it to bring it up to the middle at a brick, so it's called. That's in USA Ultimate, Canadian Ultimate rules. You can also bring it up to 15 meters up, and it goes to what's called a brick mark. Now, on WFDF rules, which is what's played at World Games and elsewhere in the world, you can either bring it, if it goes out of bounds really anywhere outside or in front of the brick mark, you can bring it back to the middle, to the brick mark, or to the side of the field right there. I believe that's Jackie upfield with the catch and the point. Good possession from PPF, looking deep, taking advantage of their speed. Terra still up one break though, and I think that is an important factor at this point. And one more thing was, if you kind of roll back in the video a bit, if you have a chance to do that when it's up later on YouTube, you can see in the middle of the field, you can see a Terra player poaching and reading the play. These ladies know the game. They can read the disc very well. They have all of the experience. And in the women's division, I'll speak about this later tomorrow, probably during the finals, it is by far the most technical game I have seen. You may disagree with me, but I'll chat about it tomorrow. Send me your thoughts and comments before. But I'm happy to chat about it before then as well. But I was chatting with last week with I think Sam Kennedy. He asked me, what do you think the highest level ultimate is? And then I told him it depends on the factors, but on the technical side, it's women's. Pull from PPF here. Some more Whiplash players just wandering by. Still looking upfield, but has the confidence and the space to do it. Oh, and just a little pop, that was just a little bit too high. Oh, and that is tough. We've seen a lot of throwaways here from PPF. In particular, PPF handlers. And we've not seen those same throwaways. As I say that, Carla throws away a little bit. We haven't seen those same throws from the other players, but it's more off the static positioning is really what I'm mentioning, is that static position throwaway of handlers hanging on to it. And there's a bit of frustration there where there hasn't been movement from the midfield cutters. There's a piece of this there on the far side. And you can see cuts right away as well. There's more energy from Terra, I think. And the wind pushes that out just a little bit. It's going to need to be a better game coming. And another turn just outside the end zone. And then a turn on the swing. Just a few throws here, or a point that's a little bit more rushed. But we've got a long player. Oh, that's a great flick. The upfield PPF players have been great so far in the previous game as well. Just got a note here, Big Fish Ultimate had a huge game against Glide, 13-9 for Glide, but they played really hot. That's important for Big Fish. They've been looking really strong as well. Yeah, and a tweet going out right now. Roy sent out a note. They got a big Universe Point win over Maverick. Apparently Maverick was down 4 points or 3 points. It was game point. And then Maverick came back, scored 3 in a row, so 1 point and then 2 breaks, and then had a really long Universe Point. And then after that, they went off from there. I believe the score is now 3-2 for PPF. Is it 3-2? Thank you. Just checking with one of the observers who's taking a break right now on the sideline. But PPF lead 3-2. Get their break back. We're now back. Pretty much beginning of the game. This is a nice pull. In terms of distance, it's a bit to the side, so it's going to be centered, and that lets the defense get right on. Upline cut coming, but a travel called. This is, I've seen the same player called travel 3 or 4 times now, and I've questioned it each time. I think it's also, I'm not close enough to have the perspective of whether the player feels like she's taking advantage. Oh. Sorry, I missed that one. Becky now with the middle. Sending it out to Darcy. Left-handed dish. Just such a quick movement. And then Tanya there at the end. To see that connection there that we just had from Becky all the way to Tanya, that is a group that's used to playing together. That is PPF as it has been for the last few years in terms of a group of friends that play league together, that play different series, that play on some mixed teams together as well. And I think that chemistry is very important. As PPF gets another break here. And now they're starting to roll, but that was a strong, hot line. Let's see how their younger line now does on defense. It's they still have a lot of veteran players there. Fourth from the left, Danielle, one of the captains as well of the team. I actually play with her on a team called Dump Truck. It's just a league team that also has Darcy on it and picks up a few other ladies from here and there. But it's just great playing with that high caliber level of women. And not just women, but just players in general. And when you play on a mixed team that just flows, it plays like any high level team that just works and clicks. And I think that's the most important thing, is that these players know how to play flow. And flow isn't something that you can necessarily teach, it's something that you need to learn, and it comes from a mentality in the actual game. And I know some of the watchers out there have played as well. This was a good pull in terms of defensive strategy coming down as well. But great break. Now they're trying to move it. Oh, and just a little bit of miscommunication there, and maybe a hesitation as to who that disc was meant for. PPF's got in the middle again. They've got a little bit of confidence, and that's what this team needs. Just taking the in-cuts now. They've got energy and pep in their step. And now this is an issue. We have an injury or foul. Maybe a collision there in the middle. Looks like it hurt. Hey, folks under the tent, guys in the tent, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave because you're blocking my wireless signal, sorry. Or you can just shift over to the front of the tent, that would be fine. It's all good, you can just move to the front. Just, the Rogers stick is very sensitive. Thank you. All right, we're trying to get our wireless back. I think might have pinpointed a little bit of the issue. Oh, and in the end zone from one of the captains. There's more energy now from the team. And you can definitely see that if we could get some analysis on just pace, it'd be improved. Terra, an unfortunate turnover, but they've called a timeout now. So we can take a bit of a break as well. So checking in on some of the other events that are happening there. We've had upsets everywhere. We've had our upset that you've seen here in the women's division. Bled Ultimate lost to Yar, whose Twitter is Alliance Ultimate, or Alliance Ulti. So that's a little bit of an issue. We've seen the open division. The big one there is Maverick losing to Roy, so that's the 2 seed losing to the 7 seed. Really tough overall to see that one, but Maverick and the whole system that they've gone on are a little bit of a rebuilding year. Other kind of championships going on. There are regionals going on. Alberta is having one right now where Wild Rose Ultimate is playing. You can check them out as well online. Should update that score as well. Sorry, a lot of things going on. 5-2 PPF now leads. This was after they were at 1-1. I think Terra had broken, and then PPF has rolled since then. Most important has been an energy that we're now seeing from PPF that we haven't seen before. Let's see if we can see that from Terra. It's going to be important as well. A very strong group of ladies on the Terra side. Internationally strong, nationally strong. But they're in a tough division here in Ontario. Tanya with the disc. Tanya is from London. Zone here, as you can see, it's a cup that's now actually gone right back to him in. So it's really a... And then in the middle, there was a little bit of uncertainty on the actual catch. Then we've got another turn after that. Steph Wong in a throwaway. She is a lefty. She wanted to go with a huck, and then miscommunication in the middle. Was it Jose up? Oh, and then a big bladey OI, and that should be an easy grab, and it is. Great vision to see that in the space down the field, and then having the power to execute on that. Just great. I think that's one of the most enjoyable parts about being a handler or even just an upfield cutter. You see that space, you see the separation, and you know that you can just put a nice, not a blade up, but just big OI pass. There's tons of space. There's not going to be any pressure from the defense. When as a defender you see one of those go up, you know you've made a mistake. And it's not that you made a mistake right then. You made a mistake about 5-6 seconds ago, and you're paying the price for it then. Okay, we're going to go and check the stream again shortly. We've kicked the folks out of the tent. Maybe they're in a different one now. But I'll go and check it on the next break that we get. And the connection still seems fast and responsive right now, though, so hopefully it'll come back. And short pull to the middle of the field. And we almost lost our camera there. But once again, a little bit of a zone here. Strip called by Dana.
PPF, if they're doing a zone, be aware of the double team. She has to stop Cam until they back up, right?
A little bit of motion before the play and a violation called. There we go, there's the option. And right back to Dana. And then she wants to huck it. She's good. PPF, make it 6. PPF now 6-3. One more point, we'll take it to half. A lot of good discussion on the sideline. Temperature-wise, let's check what it is out here. A little bit of a breeze, which is nice. Sorry, just responding to a few messages that I've received. And a good pull that ends up on the sideline, but still a lot of movement available. So not able to shut it just down very quickly. Foul called as well. Temperature right now is 26. It's going to go up to 27 later today, but it's hotter in the sun. Oh, and a slightly blady throw there. Came out wrong. An apology as well. A chance now. Foul called. We're having, and PPF is seeing this. Bree picked up the disc, and there were no options downfield. There was a deep option, but she didn't realize what was going there. Fortunate drop from Serena there. Nat. No real options there downfield, but just good swing, good solid movement there. Easy movement up the line. And a point. Great recovery from Terra. And that was a point of unforced turnovers. PPF going on to offense now. It's a big point here once again for both teams. 7-4 at half is a much different story than 7-5.
Still getting caught a bit in our right? Yeah. So,
especially a 7-5 after a break. It can be tough.
the first thing you gotta do every time somebody catches the frisbee, back up.
PPF's looking good though.
To start with, and then you can reposition.
There is engagement now also coming in from the sideline, from the players.
So if you're marking me,
The conditions are starting to affect all teams here at the tournament. Yeah, we haven't really had heat like this at any of our tournaments. Primarily what we've had is hail. So maybe if it hailed, we would be in better shape. But I would prefer not, because it makes my life much more difficult. I'm going to pull by Joe, goes to the sideline, I believe. Coming back, centered middle, and a zone coming down again with a cup. Will probably melt after 3. Oh, and just thrown into traffic. That's another unforced error. And I hate to say it, but Manny's had a lot of throwovers, or turnovers. Hammer! Really the first one that we've seen here. And a catch. 7-5, just like that. That's a punctuation mark on that point. And not only that, that was a great hammer. I think I'd like to see more of those.
Let's go, PPF. Let's take half. Come
Glad the stream is working for more people. It helps that it makes the tent exclusive, I guess. Wish it didn't because it is hot out here. But there are more clouds out now as well. You'll see the field changing and clouds going by. We see a lot more of that patchiness coming, which means we'll also get some more breeze, and breeze that changes in direction. And that's typically what you get when you get patchy clouds like this, where you get the updrafts and the downdrafts. And so now we have a headwind, and earlier, or previously, we had a tailwind.
No, we kept you on it.
So the mixed division has opened up as well a little bit. Bled has a game that they have to win against BFC. Ooh. Low catch, but confident. There's just no options, and the problem is now you have to move it quickly, and they are. That's good. Melt called, and lots of space. Becky slowed down. She knew how the time, and throws it to Tanya deep in the end zone. And it's a point. 7-5. And that's half. Hope you've been enjoying the stream so far. It's a little bit of a tiring day, but fairly good. So let's look back at that and analyze it a little bit. 7-5. PPF leading, especially after the last game, it's important, but 7-5 is very close. And it's not 7-5 on errors that they've forced. We've seen plenty of breaks going the other way and unforced errors from PPF. We've seen some good D from Terra. I think for a nationals level team like PPF, they need to go out a little bit harder and really push to take the second half by a large margin. It's difficult for Terra because they've had two tough games. Well, sorry, one tough game that they just come off of, but they've been playing very well as well. Their errors that they've made have been unforced. They've had a couple bladey throws, and that's been about it. And they've had a few slip discs as well where they've kind of missed the catch. And so they've been unforced errors in some cases. So a mix of both, you could say. I think the change is going to have to be, both sides are going to have to be playing the stack a bit more and really controlling the defense. We know that PPF has had some focus issues so far, and they continue to. Joining me over on the field mic, if he yells loudly enough, is Gavin, Zone Buster, I believe.
Thanks for that shout out on the website. That was great.
And they've been having a fairly decent day as well, Big Fish. You're going to have to talk really loudly into that one.
Went up 3-0 on Glide to start, and Glide ended up taking us, I think it was like 13-9, 13-11. Big Fish is playing well today. They're a team to be reckoned with at this tournament.
I'm very impressed by the strength of Big Fish and the program development that they've done. And just the personnel pickups as well. Right? That works out nicely? Okay. No, it's always good seeing Big Fish. They're consistently here at Ontario Championships. We do need to see them more often, and I think we're going to see them continue to develop. We might even see a fourth team out of Ottawa now that there's Glide, BFC, and Big Fish. Now, Glide is the A team out of Ottawa right now, but they're not necessarily part of the system. Whereas for BFC and Big Fish, they have a bit more of a relationship, so to speak. BFC looking strong so far this tournament. We'll see how that pans out for them. They have been a little bit of a hit and miss team in the past, but looking pretty good so far this tournament. All right, what else do we have going on? I think the biggest things have just been the upsets that we've been having in other divisions. This in women's so far, a shuffle amongst the top few is not really an upset. That big one is the one that hurts most in the open division is that loss by Maverick to Roy. I mean, that's usually a guaranteed kind of point that they have. So if you have any questions or comments, please send them in. And a pull now from PPF to start off the second half, and we're going to get back to work. Great pressure there. Definitely bringing out a lot of running from both teams here to start the second half. Carla, the middle. Nat. Sorry, I don't know your name. My eyesight is also bad. Oh, she wants to throw the hammer. You could see it. There was the space. Really consistent handling here. I think that is the key to. Oh, and every time I say something like that, anyhow, I think a little bit of confusion there as well as to which direction the player was going in with what speed. It can be tough. Swung out to the middle of the field. That one a little bit short as well. Good safe catches. I can hear the slap of the catch and the sound of the catch every time. Staying in the middle of the field, looking for the hook. And a point, PPF. Starting out the second half with a break. 8-5. That's a good put from midfield. We're seeing those hucks again coming from right in this midfield area where we've looked down here. Really every single one that's worked. That means there's enough space to set up a cut, enough space for the movement to happen. Both teams could use that to their advantage. Was just asked a question about what the next game coming up here. It's Phoenix versus Maverick. Important game for Maverick, and we're going to get a chance to see how strong Phoenix is. Is Phoenix expecting to head to Prague? They were at, not Prague, but to Italy next year. They were in Prague. Fun fact, they finished with, I believe, the last or second to last Spirit score there amongst all teams. Not that fun, but a fact nonetheless. Darcy with a pole that's rolling, but it's going to be taken quickly and easily. And then now a little bit more static with the zone. That's good job on the zone. And the hammer to break out. Midfield position, still in a horizontal though. Rather than going to vertical, but that created the space that was needed. Terra, keep it close, 8-6. They know they can huck though, and they know they can beat the zone. It'll be a question of consistency now for the rest of the game. Who did you play?
Default.
Okay. Knobs coming off of a match against Default, Waterloo's third mixed touring team as part of the Whiplash program. And the game was a 13-1 win for Knobs, so no upset over there, fairly consistent. Double A's is feeling pretty good, it looks like. Now he says it's hot. I would believe it. Say,
Yeah, we're holding ourselves together.
you can use the shade right there if you'd like. But not this tent, because apparently it cuts off the internet if you're in there. And people on the complain about it. And there's nothing worse than someone on the internet at home complaining to me. Just having a nice friendly conversation with Double A's. Knobs is feeling and looking pretty good so far. That's a nice deep pull. And it's on the sideline, and there's a little bit of zone pressure here again. And it's a kind of a standard cup. And then a big deep pull. It's going to be 2-on-1, but not a problem for the deep D. It was a really floaty deep throw. Carla now coming up with a disc. She's looking a little bit deep, but there's a speed mismatch there. Goes high, and it's turned. And I think that's been a big issue, is that some of the top players have been playing at a little bit of a different pace and are sticking with their throws a lot longer than they need to. Manny looking for a full field break. Gets a bit of a break there from not the intended receiver actually catching it. And then Joe with a great D. And Carla also streaking deep, but not getting the option there. A little bit of a deep clog. Good movement to keep possession. Oh, and a foul and injury at the same time. Observer here making sure that they know kind of what's going on. Okay, so we have some issues on the live stream. I will be looking into that shortly as well, at least the mobile live stream. The desktop one appears to be okay at this time. I'll go have a look at that one as well. So I believe there was a call was contact. And it's a turnover. End zone called. Looks like it's going to a vertical. Not in. Observer's right there. And then Dana punches it in or gets it in there. It's 9-6. Okay, we're going to go and try and fix that live stream right now. Foul call. Just restarted the stream there really quickly. Now, Elena had to cut back there, but fairly straightforward point, keeping it close. Now they have a shot at a break. And the pressure is on PPF. Some injuries or as well on Terra, it appears. The score appears to be 9-7. And I hope we have it correct on the bottom. Pull from Elena. It's on this. It's deep, and this one has caused a shift in the D, or sorry, in the offense, which is what we want. Now there's a wall, so you can see 4 players, and it's really caused pressure, and it's working. PPF has been really patient until then. And another unforced turnover. I think that's been the toughest part of that game. There are no fill handlers. There we are from the front of the stack. Oh, Julie B with an uncharacteristic drop. But there was a call. Foul call. So it might have just been touched during the throw, and that would explain it. Elena now coming back into the frame. Nice easy catch for her. Looking at Julie. Oh, and a blind throw. And that's blind throw is when you don't necessarily see how close the defender is. Well, amongst one of them, any blind throws. Coming up line option. Middle positioning, and speed to take it out, and then there's the long throw. And good play from PPF, 10-7. Thank you for all of those that have written in and that are watching and are continuing to watch. Continuing to work on stream quality. I like the cheer as well that Terra has. TERRA. Oh, sorry, I missed the poll. I was checking up on our live stream. Anyhow, you didn't miss much. PPF is playing a cup there, but they've melted now. And that has created space. And Jackie Mann, with the D, tracked it in all the way. ISO Bob called. Or Ton. And Steph with a throwaway. Right about where the observer is.
Natalie? Go Terra! Go ladies!
Terra get a shot to keep possession. Interesting end zone setup there. It's in a little bit of an ISO. And they can clear. It can be an over-the-top throw. And that's a good play. Calling for fakes. A lot of hard-working players here. And just a little bit short. And Darcy is streaking. Steph, lefty huck. Backhand. Is there any pressure? There is, but not an issue for Ton going deep now. Comes in, Becky there on the follow-up. 1, 2, 3 veteran players right from the start to the end. 4 passes. PPF. Make that 11-7. Once they get running, they have excellent movement amongst the veteran players. I think that's something that the newer ones might need to pick up on. PPF has these 2 groups, it seems, or really the newer group that are still trying to figure out how to get into the flow and fit in. And that's natural with newer players who are more uncertain, especially when they're put in responsibility positions. But any of the 4 that just touch it there could be on the handling line, but they're all cutters. They're not handling other than Steph. So PPF has really gone forward front, putting stronger handling players as well up front, so that once they get it into the mids, they can move it. But their problem has been getting it into the mids. I believe that's Manny going to be pulling it now. And it's going to be falling about midfield floating. It's going to give time for the defense to get there as well. So it's good pressure. And Elena, and they're doing the same thing here. Tara's moving it in the midfield well. They're looking for it. Elena there again. Just flips out. Break side available. She's looking for the end zone. She's in that danger hucking red zone as we'd spoken about earlier. Oh, there was just a little bit of wind. Pick called. And that's going to stop that strike. It should come back. And wind knocks my umbrella over. So that was the rocking that you felt, or shaking that you saw on the camera. Some nice afternoon shade now. And once again, in for the big huck. She had the huck, it's just got to be a little bit flatter so it floats. That one too is a good floater. And Al calls it in. It's a point. And 11-8. PPF close to the end of the game here now. It's another critical time as to whether they can close it out. And Joe's back on the field. She's been on, I think, 3 or 4 points in a row now. But a strong handler. She's been that handler at the back. She's fast, so she can get the Ds. Just overall, a strong line out there now. This is a really strong lineup. Big floaty pole. It's hanging, and it's fading off towards the sideline. Excellent pull. Comes back to the middle. The mids have got to be on that. They're playing a little bit for rabbit. There aren't upfield options. There needs to be an over the top into the mids. Good communication going on as well from this team right now. Oh, and great grab in the middle. It's risky, but now they're trapped in the middle. Over the top. Gets to Becky in the middle. It's opened up. Easy called. Becky gets it, and that's a point. Oh, sorry, that wasn't a Terra point. That was a PPF point. 12-8. One interesting thing there on the zone is why it opened up into the middle. Is because the side mid on this side, who was Carla, had come in towards the line too far. She was covering the zone, and the communication from the deep came that there wasn't a player necessarily there, and so she had shifted too far over, and that opened up in the middle because the mid did not adjust for it. And that's what makes zone so technically difficult to play against a good team, is that you have to have your positions correctly. That said, Terra did have a good shot in the middle on the pressure, and it was very close. It was probably a one step, not even one step, half a step difference between a turn and what eventually became that opened up play. Manny with a pull. Not to it quickly. There's lots of options downfield. Carla's going hard under. She's looking for space, but well covered by Danielle. Nobody going deep. Julie wants to go deep. Now you have two people on here on the sideline. Now here's a deep shot. Julie B going as well. Lots of space and room. Gets the point. Oh, great resilience there by Terra. There was a lot of upfield pressure, and the handlers kept it, and the handlers were under pressure as well. Just great way to put it. And then a great finish on that one as well. A nice high floaty throw that came down just perfectly in front of Julie B. Unless my count is incorrect, this is game point for PPF. Score is incorrect, I apologize, but Looking for a big pull here from Terra. Elena with the pull. This one is going and stays in. Oh, she's calling middle. In fact, actually, Ellen had called middle. She's the observer that's over there. She's right on the line, so she can see it. She called that it was out. And then once again, there's this 2-5 setup from PPF. Gives them the upfield options, but lots of pressure. Oh, great D. That was a fantastic D. Jackie put a very good throw upfield there. 2 PPF ladies had shots at it. And then Tanya left it, and Elena just got it. Keeping the game alive here, Terra. Foul called. A little bit of push. Sent to the middle. There's great speed here on the in cuts as well, and it's really opening up and creating the space. That's good advantage. And big huck because of timing. Goes down the field, finds an open lady. Too many options there on the dump. Oh, and a throwaway, unfortunately, just not enough speed to catch up to that. Jackie is open on the deep option here. Sorry to hear. Who are you guys playing with? Oh, okay. So, good game. Foul call in the midfield, and it will go back. I think they might let it go to the observer. It would have been advantageous for White to go to the observer there. They had no downside from that other than losing the disc, which they do anyways. But I think it was a foul, and she did too, and so it went back. Looking a little bit over the top. Jackie's got an arm, and she should have sent it to Becky. Oh, it's a great break and a better grab